Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We have a subscription soap today from 345.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we're the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. A cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we would like to talk about the subscription that's available at 345 Soap.
Y'all, it's $40 every 2 months. You get a soap and a splash delivered to you in an exclusive base, the Paisley base, for subscribers only. You can even contribute ideas as to what you might like the next soap and splash to be, and you get a code for 20% off everything on the 345 soap as often as you want to use it. What a deal. And as of right now, subscriptions are open. They're not always. So head over to 345 soap and check that out. And inspired by their subscription service, what is our soap today?
We have Devour, which is an homage to Cherry Smoke by Tom Ford. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at 345soap.com.
This is absolutely a wonderful scent. The cherry is not bright and not gourmand. It blends really well with the subtle depth of the smoke. It's not really a heavy burnt smoke note. The blend of cherry and subtle smoke brings in an intoxicating cologne-style fragrance. The wood and slight leather note brings some warmth. This is an homage to Tom Ford's smoked cherry.
Y'all, and constant viewers will know that when we first experienced an homage to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, thanks to HSSC and the Razor Company, our skirts were blown up so high they haven't even come down yet. And we are so excited to get our noses on our first flanker to Lost Cherry from 345. Let's open the box. All right, this is our first subscription box. Help me open it. Let's see what we've got.
Here's how it goes.
Going on in here. Lots of popcorn.
Oh, look at
There's
that label.
the soap. Oh, it's in a lovely tub. Yeah, let's see here. Ooh. Oh, waterproof. Very nice. Beautiful label. And then what do we got?
Okay. And then here is our matching splash.
Oh, I love those bottles. And here we are, y'all, ready for our first impression. These are a little bit more luxurious than the normal 345 tubs. Very nice. All right, I went first last time. I want you to take it in and see what you get. Our first Paisley base. This is exciting.
And another Tom Ford. Wow.
No, can't go wrong with that, I think.
Oh, it's a got a little vanilla in there. Look at that.
Beautiful. Oxidizing on top. All right, take it in.
Go. A smoky cherry action.
I'm excited. Love Lost Cherry and I love smoke. Put those hands together, right?
Well, they are wonderful, wonderful friends in here. It's a different cherry than is in Lost Cherry, but it has a brighter, more shiny red to me. So I kind of do get a little bit more of that action. And the smoke, it's almost coming off as more of like a woodsy spice for me. I'm not getting like that cade side of the smoke or anything like too charred.
Right.
It maybe just started to smoke. It hasn't been smoking for very long. It's not like a barbecue pit or something like that. I think the cherry is almost approaching like a boozy vibe. Like not a maraschino cherry where it sits in that, but like if you could put the cherry and sit it in some kind of a booziness, the spices or something in there kind of changing things up.
The perfuming house suggests this might be a more sophisticated, moodier cherry than the original Lost Cherry.
I can see why this came out around Valentine's time because I feel like it has a little bit of that date night, kind of a little sweet, a little masculine at the same time. Like it's more of a unisex scent, but I do feel like it fits the Valentine's vibe in a nice touch.
And one of the scent notes that I remember being in this that's not in the original Lost Cherry is leather. Speaking of a little hit for Valentine's Day, you get a little leather in there.
Now that you say it, yes. But I think my brain was interpreting it more as like a woodsy kind of side. So it's not too bright, shiny car leather. It kind of has a little more worn-in vibe for me. I feel like this has a lot of movement to it. Like there's two faces to this scent. If I go and dive in for the cherry, it's kind of like there's a spotlight on the cherry side and it really has a shining moment. If I go and looking for the other kind of spices, woodsy, approaching that smokiness, maybe that's where the leather is hiding too. Like that's coming off as a spice. choice, but that's kind of where it sits for me. So I feel like if I'm wearing this, the lighter, brighter kind of flirty side might come out, and on you, the more deeper kind of spices, woodsy, smoky action is gonna come out. There's something in the middle between the two, and that actually might be where the leather is more of the master, because it's kind of jumping in a little bit like how, if I think of Releve that they've done from T45, it has more of that raspberry and leather ratio, but my brain has a hard time nailing it down. They keep switching. So somehow the leather is also the magic weapon in this one. I couldn't pull it out until you said it, but that's exactly where the cherry moment kind of goes into like a boozy, almost leathery moment, and then the leather itself eases you into the smoky, woodsy action on the other side.
She wore Releve last night, and I called it instantly.
This is less candied. Like, there's something in Releve that goes sweeter, a little more for like the younger spirit in you. But this one, that kind of goes a little more to the flirty kind of side for me. I am having flashbacks to when I was a kid. It was like a ruby red kind of candied outside with a gumball inside maybe, and there's something about the cherryness in that candy that's coming through in a different way than the Lost Cherry side cherry is done. So I still can't figure out if it's more of like a candied cherry or something has happened to the cherry. Maybe the booziness, something in here is making the cherry a flanker cherry to Lost Cherry, but I can't figure out the magic yet.
As an extremely amateur perfumer, I do know that sometimes the cherry note and the almond note can be very similar in perfuming. Are you getting a little bit of almond inside the cherry?
I forgot that was even a thing that's connected to cherry. So I'm going to say no. I'm getting more the red vibrancy of the actual cherry, not the deeper, darker side of the cherry. I think that's more the Lost Cherry side. This is like a candied red color somehow in my mind.
We've found the aroma chemical that is the heart of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It's not an essential oil. It's not a cherry scent. But y'all, it's magical. Like amaretto from Moon Soaps. Smell for that almond and it transitions beautifully into cherry. It's meant to. This is a different cherry.
I think there's like a light woodsy thing in here that almost comes off a little cologne-y, but I don't know exactly which one of those woody ones it is, but I think it's something lighter because it's keeping this from getting as dark as it could get with the smoky and the leather parts in here.
Right.
When my nose first hits this, I want to say it's gourmandy, but then when I keep diving in, it kind of flips on me and it goes more into that cologne side. So I don't know if it's just like how the actual fruits are turned a little differently or how the woods and the leathers are coming in, but it's one of those scents that has movement. I don't think you can just take a whiff of it and know where this sits, because some gourmandy ones can get a little syrupy, a little too sweet. This one kind of almost starts to get to where you can identify the cherry and then it dives into the rest. So I think that's how I know it is more of like a Tom Ford homage. That's where it kind of goes more into the perfumery sides of things, but it does have a fun little flirtiness that stays with it. All right, I'm excited to see how the smokiness hits you, I gotta say.
I am too. We have become a little bit of experts on Lost Cherry. We have some of the original from Tom Ford, 5 milliliters. We had to fill out a mortgage application. We have the Oakja, we have the Dossier, we have the Duet, and all of them are remarkably close to that original. So I'm excited to dive into this because I know the original, I don't know the flanker at all, and it's time for some fun here. Here we go. Oh, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. When you first pop this tub, it smells almost identical to Lost Cherry. And as you take it in, the differences start to rise to the surface. I was ready to say that this was like 80% Lost Cherry, but by the end of that long whiff, I'm like 50%. There's a lot going on, and it's all in the subtlety. But don't you think it should be if you smelled Lost Cherry? Y'all, okay, hold on. Okay, the original Lost Cherry in this shaving soap can have a little bit of a plasticky sense in the best of ways. That's just how it's constructed. With this, that sort of clean plasticky part has almost been turned into a floral, and that's what's accompanying the cherry as it opens the door. Whoa, hold on. And it's the floral that's binding with the smoke. That is brilliant. So the cherry can stay cherry on this side, and it's everything surrounding it that's making it the flanker. Oh. All right, and let me give you a sense of how the smoke is sitting next to the cherry. If you had a fireplace growing up and a cord of wood out on the back deck, you know what I mean. You build a fire, you watch the movie with your family, you go to bed. You wake up the next morning, open up the fireplace, grab that log that isn't totally burned yet, and smell the natural charcoal that got made as that log was cooling down the night before. That's the smoke that's going along with the cherry and all of the dirty, ashy parts that go along with it. It's not turned up real high in the balance, but it's there and it's dirty, and you're totally right. It's the opposite of Cade. Your nose is not going to get anything that would set off a smoke alarm, but it's almost like a subtle, subdued charcoal sense. The floral in the middle is almost a rose and almost an apple. And y'all, those two are in the same family to start with. So is strawberry. So there is something about how that gatekeeper between the smoke and the cherry is allowed to be sweet and springtime and whimsical in amongst all of these autumnal darker scents. There's a resin toward the bottom. Some apopanoxy, something like that, just to stand on a nice spicy piece of wood, again, without it being turned up even half as loud as the cherry is. But you gotta stand on something dark for these to be perceived with the light sense that your nose is gonna take them in. See, and almost where, with a long whiff of lost cherry, the cherry becomes more and more real, here, the cherry almost becomes more and more syrupy, like in the middle of those chocolate cherry cordial candies that Grandpa used to like, especially the alcohol version.
Right. I was getting a little booziness, so I think you're right.
Y'all. And then something along the outside, stick with me, that's a little bit candle waxy, kind of in the best of ways, just something a little bit mid-notey and earthy and musky to the nose. And I'm just asking myself, how sweet does this get? It gets crazy sweet. It gets crazy sweet. It gets just as sweet as your nose wants to climb. I think if you don't want to go all the way to the top of that beanstalk, you don't have to. But if you keep looking for where that sweet stops, it just doesn't.
All right, now I want you to dive in and see if you can find that leather you asked me about.
Y'all, Tobias Funke himself is in this. Hold on a second. The leather, that's more subtle because I did not sense it in all of this time yet. Hold on a second.
It's funny, I got less of that and the smoky side than I assumed I was going to get.
Oh, this is interesting. The leather is actually part of the smoke for me. I was kind of looking for a clean suede or then maybe like a barber chair kind of thing. No, this is a red, spicy, Red Wing boot, steel toe leather kind of thing binding with the smoke. It's a dirty leather.
I am curious if once we lather things up, they wake up a little bit more because they're kind of hidden strategically in there.
Well, and I'm excited to see how a paisley base is going to perform when we hit it with our bougie spare. Come along with us, y'all! All right, y'all, back to the subscription page at 345soap.com. We start with top notes of
sour cherry and saffron.
Y'all think BR 540 turned way down. Turned way down. But it's there. And I love that they said sour cherry. Y'all, it's not the sour cherry from the soda that you're thinking of. Growing up, it's a mouth-watering, kind of black cherry, sour cherryness. How do you get the saffron?
Now that I can smell it, I can find it. My brain thought that was part of like the wood spices, but I totally get why that is a perfect little transaction to stick between the cherry into the woods and things.
And it's in here and being used in the same way as it's used in BR 540, just turned way down and without all the ethyl maltol. Middle notes. Holy crap.
Right. We were missing. There's a lot in here.
I need to say grace. We start with leather. Okay, wait a minute. Olive. How are you
like
getting
an olive branch?
Olive in there? I have seen green olive. I have seen black olive in scent notes, but generally in EDPs. Like, how are you getting them?
My brain thought that was a boozy kind of thing somehow. Like, I don't know where that line got switched, but that's where it took me.
And aren't olives interesting in that they smell way different than they taste, especially when they're on your fingers? And then Marcus was almost right. I said a popanox. I was looking for a dark resin. We've got Chinese osmanthus. Love it.
Oh, I was not expecting this, though. And apricot. That's how it's changing.
That's the sweet. When I'm trying to follow that cherry up and all of a sudden it turns into something sweeter and more floral, that's what I was getting. An apricot and almost an apricot blossom. Are you sensing that?
I'm with you. That's where I almost thought it turned floral a little bit. So there you go. That's the secret weapon.
It's almost where apricot would become butterscotch.
There you go.
Like that's what's making it transition in here. And it's beautiful. The base notes, smoke, woody notes, and cypriol oil.
Or Nagarmatha.
Mothra.
So now looking at this list, it does seem more like it's a Tom Ford kind of lane. There are creative, different things in here I was not expecting.
And having just spoken with Chris Cullen on our Instagram series about ingredients, I'm looking down this list in the paisley base, and it's blowing my skirt up. Stearic acid, donkey and goat milk, shea butter, and then here come the other butters.
A lot of butter, a lot of oil.
We need to have 345 on our interview series quick. And where did you get this beautiful brush?
This is part of my AKA custom set. I just chose the colors and they created this magic.
And look at this. They turned a bowl to match live on Instagram so we could see it. And I'm just going to grab a hunk of this. Oh, super
Softer.
soft.
Okay.
So that feels like an Adopted Acres kind of
Lots of
thing
butter
going on
action.
here, y'all. All right, Sarah's just going to push that into the ridges of her bowl and make a thin layer of soap so she can draw it up quick and easy onto the bristles of the brush before she starts building a lather. A little spring rain on the cherry tree from the bougie sprayer from Sean and Julie Smaldrich. Thanks, y'all. All right, we're just going to go to town here and start pulling up the lather onto the bristles. Now, you'll notice we're not actually building the lather yet. Nothing's overflowing the bowl, no giant bubbles. We're just transferring the soap up onto the bristles first, and they're almost dry. Just a little of that ancillary water to help move that soap up onto the bristles.
And then I'm going to start just adding a little water into things as I'm building this lather.
But you'll notice no foam yet. And then you grab the water, you start doing a little swirly, and the lather man cometh.
I feel like it does feel like a different base. It's already waking up a little differently in the bowl.
Every time I use 345, I am surprised at how great that lather is. Every time.
Well, I think you're going to even be more surprised as you get a feel for this lather happening.
Hold on,
Give it a try.
Whoa.
Right? A little more padded, a little more airy.
Very thick. I love this. Look at this.
I know, I couldn't decide if I wanted to add more water or not, but it kind of seemed heavy.
Can't even see the bowl. Right. Looks good to me. Well, I also like to soak the face so that I can use that water to build the last part of the lather on the moneymaker. This set up instantly.
It did.
Look at this. I know we never talk about lather here at the Barbershop Duet, but y'all, you serious right now?
I'm glad we finally caved and joined the subscription because we didn't know what we were missing. A whole new base, too.
Y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the I Think I Found the Cherry Whip on 3, 1, 2. Oh, man. Now I have to decide if I like this better than Lost Cherry.
Oh, the decisions you have to make.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, and I love that everything I love about Lost Cherry is here. Is here. Somehow they didn't take away at all. They just added. Beautiful.
To me, Lost Cherry is a little bit more of a summer scent.
Yeah.
This one kind of approaches a little more springtime fall vibes with there's the other stuff that's going on in there, the spices and the smokiness.
And Angelo from the Shave Arcade is probably in the chat of this video right now. He will tell you that he found out that Tom Ford, when he goes to bed, wears a drop of Lost Cherry and a drop of effing Fabulous and smells them together. There you go.
I did read up on the page a little bit, and the reason that this is called the Paisley base is they have 3 kids, and their last one they were going to name Paisley, but then it was a boy, so we couldn't use the name, and now they added it into a Paisley base. There you go.
If Paisley had been born a girl and they used the name, this would be the Lewis base.
There you go.
What were you going to be named if you were a boy? Do you know?
I don't remember mine, but I do remember my sister's was Aaron, Aaron, because her middle name is Erin now.
Right.
But that was kind of like the spin on how I always remember that one.
Interesting.
I want to say it was going to be like Nicholas or something like that, but I'm going to have to ask.
My parents were going to name me Myrtle after our neighbor Myrtle Gangler.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories. She's a wonderful gal, but I don't know if you would have liked that name.
Could you imagine? Hi, I'm Myrtle Klinger with the Barbershop Duet. It's like Mabel. Nobody's been named Myrtle for like 50 years.
It is interesting. The new crops of little kids that I have coming through dance class, and I think even on your roll sheet for all of your singing kids, there are creative new names, y'all.
Totally. And y'all, we love watching our Shave Arcade, and we have it on good authority that there are a few more episodes coming soon from Angelo, but we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. We thought you might like to see what this Paisley base does when it goes on. Holy crap. I'm gonna go shave right now. This is crazy. Here, you gotta try this. Whoa, y'all, look at this. You can see the tracks of the bristles.
Yeah, this does feel like a next upper tier kind of base, I gotta say.
Thick and protective, but it doesn't feel like gummy, if that makes sense.
Right, and it's still super slick.
Right.
Like, I feel like whatever my razor hits, it's gonna all come off. It's not gonna stay there, but that kind of extra paddedness is definitely nice.
All right, y'all, well, we have 1 or 2 more comparisons to do. Come along with us. We're gonna go a little deep. All right, right, so before we try on the splash, I am curious to smell the dupe of the original Lost Cherry alongside the homage to Cherry Smoke. Let's do this on 3, 1, 2. Okay, now I'm really getting the differences. I had that skew my vision of Lost Cherry a lot. Smell the original now.
Yeah,
Y'all.
different. Drier,
Whoa.
cleaner somehow here.
You know how I said they were like 60, 50% the same? I think now they're like 35, 40%
I'm more
the
with
same.
that, yeah.
I think there's a lot more going on in here in the differences. And here's the reason we shot this today, because I wanted to smell like this the rest of the afternoon. Today is our Sunday, and I'm going to enjoy it. All right, here we go. A little something there. And a little something here. A little bit of cloudiness going on maybe in that
things
splash.
going on
Let's
here.
see here. L'chaim.
Oh, the osmanthus is coming out.
What I was going to say, I don't even get the cherry first at all. I get the resins, I get the smoke first. There's not even any cherry in this yet.
Okay, now I'm getting the leathery smokiness too.
Right. Beautiful.
Oh, there's magic. Okay, I think I can even get the olive or like olive branch happening.
The leather is becoming amazing in this, y'all. Somewhere between those Red Wing boots and the barber chair itself. I know this. The leather is red. Sorry, Tobias.
I do want to mention, I saw that the EDP for this was sold out, and now I get why. You're going to have to make some requests.
He did restock the Jazz EDP when I asked him about it, so maybe he's got some of this oil sitting around. But this is exceptional. I am trying to decide right now if I like this better
I know.
than Lost Cherry. I might. It might have dethroned one of my absolute champions, y'all.
I think you would wear this more. The smokiness is almost coming off as more of like an incensey smoke for me.
Yes, on our quest to discover a true incense smell, this might be our pony.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know, but if I had to put the smoke in a lane, I would put it more to that like incense kind of side.
What are the ingredients? Oh, we've got alcohol, we've got witch hazel, we've got distilled water, and then some skin food
good
goodness
stuff
under that. All right.
I like the intensity of how the scent notes are coming together here. Like, my brain almost forgets that it's cherry, and I think it's the apricot that's kind of helping in the middle. There's just some magic. It's totally in that Tom Ford, like, oh, I get it now, lane.
Well, I think this is why, as soon as we smelled Lost Cherry and Tobacco Vanille, we were like, we're going to need to smell everything Tom Ford's ever done, please, because this house is incredible. And yeah, our fragrance friends will remind us that Tom Ford himself isn't the one doing this perfuming, but he hires amazing people.
I would like to say thank you to David Jacobs for helping us push the actual button to purchase. We didn't know what we were missing, but he definitely helped.
Enabled us. We were literally on the phone with him when we hit purchase to subscribe. That's how easily influenced we are here at the Barbershop Duet. Got a soap you'd like to see an episode made of? You pretty much just have to mention it. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus and Sarah getting to know this whole fragrance world a little bit and falling in love with Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. And somebody's going to say, hey, have you tried the flanker? We're going to say, what's a flanker? And they're going to say, well, sometimes the perfumers take a beloved perfume and take something away or add something to it and give it a new face or a slightly new personality for a new season or a modernization of the fragrance itself. And when you log on to Thirsty Badger's page to see if anyone has done any of the flankers and you see that maybe 345 has got the smoky version, you are going to get your own. So head over to 345soap.com to check out this and a wide range of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Devour, and actually, I just had my second shave with Devour. It was that freaking good, it was calling to me. A perfect fantasy Alice in Wonderland cherry on one side, and this super grown-up, smoky, resinous, incensey, not sweet side coming together in the middle. Y'all, it's incredible, and let's talk about this new Paisley base to us. Equal parts slick and gritty, perfectly balanced between foamy and sticky. And y'all, I'm not saying it's a better shave than their normal base, but maybe a slightly more luxurious one. Thank you, 345. We're going to use our new subscription 20% off code and come back soon. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $20 to 345 Soap.
You can put it toward a subscription, and all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first April episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Y'all, we have arrived in 2026. Vanulay, HCNC, 345. This is gonna be the spring of the cherry, and we have got you covered here at the Barbershop Duet. Stay tuned.
Don't forget your next appointment with Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.